All right, we're here with George Achilles, England. I've beaten Croatia 1-0, and you got your prediction absolutely spot on. He said 1-0 for the game. You were at 0-0 at half-time. I was like, is it going to be 1-0? Are you sure? I thought it had 0-0 written all over it, but it was spot on. And I think we deserved it in the end, because I do think, by and large, although it wasn't a vintage England display, we were the better team.
I think, to be honest with you, like throughout the whole game, this is what I said in the first half to you guys, that we were on top of them. It wasn't total domination. We weren't exactly having many chances. We had that Foden one, we had the Phillips one, but I felt like Croatia weren't really creating anything at all. So I was thinking that we'd finally get that one breakaway. If I'm honest, I thought it would be Kane. Only because like when he's quiet in some games, sometimes he just pops up with that goal. But of course today it wasn't really like him. I'm so glad it fell through to Sterling and he ended up finishing.
He was getting a lot of stick, wasn't he? And in first half, especially being a bit wasteful, getting a few good opportunities and not making the most of them. But he did get the goal in the second half. And do you think as well, Southgate maybe deserves a bit of credit, because he would have come under fire if maybe he didn't get that goal in the second half. He would have come under fire for starting him in this game.
I think so for sure, because I was saying to you guys like before the game as well when we were talking in private, I was thinking that with that lineup, you're never really happy with it because it doesn't really seem to attack in. You've got, when you see Phillips and Rice, you think, right, we're just going to sit back the whole game. But I'm not being funny. Phillips had an incredible game today.
Brilliant, wasn't he?
He was like winning every second ball. He obviously had that shot that was saved and stuff. I think he had an amazing game. And to be honest with you, it was definitely that situation where, look, if the game pulled off as it did, your praise in Southgate are great formation, great team selection. But like I said, if Sterling didn't score it and it was 0-0, you're kind of thinking, well, why didn't he go all out attack? Why didn't he bring on Grealish? Why is Sancho not even in this squad, sort of thing? But fair credit to man. This is probably our toughest game in the group, and Southgate's dealt with it very well, man. We got that one well.
And do you think, you mentioned Calvin Phillips, you think this could be the birth of him in terms of being a regular England centre mid now? Do you think maybe like this could be the opening for Calvin Phillips today with that performance?
I think so, to be honest with you, because when I was watching the England, you know, the qualifiers and the friendlies back in November, at that time, I genuinely thought Phillips looked better than Rice did on the pitch. Since then, obviously, Rice has evolved his game. He's done incredibly well with West Ham, so I think he obviously deserved the call-up and to be in the team straight away. But with Phillips, man, there was definitely a player in there, and I'm so happy with like how he performed today, because he's definitely saying, look, I mean, Henderson's injured, not available. I'm going to step up to the plate. I'm not just going to be a bystander in this game. He controlled the midfield very well,
man.
Because
a lot of people are saying he's just warming Henderson's seat in this game. But I think he took that opportunity with both hands. I completely agree.
I think every player in that team is going to take the opportunity, man, because this is definitely we've got Wembley semi-finals and finals. We obviously had this first game at Wembley. We finally won the first game at the opening game
Euros,
in the Euros. We've never done it before.
Literally.
Like, I think there's going to be a lot of... The whole team is going to be buzzing. And obviously, Grealish will get a chance in the next game. Like, Sancho will get a chance. Rashford will start.
Would you continue with Trippier left back?
I don't know.
Because I think for me, despite... I think actually defensively he was pretty solid. I think he dealt with their right winger pretty well. But I felt too many times like if we had a proper left back in some positions he got into, they would have made more of what he did.
This is what I'm thinking, right? Trippier, I think, has had an amazing season at Atletico Madrid. I'm not even like, he was one of the key factors in winning that league, because I remember the study came out and it was showing how Atletico's dip in form coincided with Trippier's ban and the fact that he couldn't play. So he did well then, but when he's playing left back, we're limiting ourselves to just, all right, he'll get to the byline, cut in and cross with his right. That's all he'll be able to do.
You could argue our downturn in form is coincided with Trippier's departure.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think there's a lot that coincided with our downfall.
So. Just saying, is it a coincidence?
The thing is, at the time, everyone was like, oh yeah, okay, Trippier's good. Like, he's not like, he was never Walker, he was never a top player, he was just a good player. But now, of course, we're missing him, man.
Big time.
The performances he's putting with Atletico, with England, and what we've got with Ori.
It's a perfect case of you don't know what you got until it's gone.
Oh, of course,
perfect case.
And look, at the end of the day, there are so many players that would just fit better at different clubs and different systems. Look, I think Trippier was a good player for Spurs, but he was never one you'd say is guaranteed every single week on the starting lineup. Like, it's all hindsight at the end of the day. He's so good now, but at that time, he didn't look great, man. When he scored the own goal against
I
Chelsea,
remember we
man,
were done with him.
everyone was calling everyone was
it's
calling for
true.
his head after that. So
It's true, but maybe we were too early. We were too fickle, I think.
It's all hindsight at the end of the day. Well, that's what I think a lot of Spurs fans are like that, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
agree with that. But after that win today, as you say, toughest team in the group to face.
Yep.
Got all 3 points fairly assuredly as well. Do you think that'll set us in good stead going into the rest of the tournament, having dispatched of a team like Croatia just so early on? Maybe it'll give some younger players who are not used to these environments maybe a lot of confidence to go forward in this tournament.
I think so for sure, because look, let's be honest. If we lost today, for example, right, would already be like, we would have lost 3 points. Then Scotland have got their game tomorrow. If they'd won their game, 3 points ahead of England,
Yeah, all of a sudden,
they'll be coming into the England game on Friday with so much confidence, thinking that, well, hold on, if we beat England here, we're effectively knocking them out of the Euros. So now we've got that 3 points, and we're already ahead of Croatia, our arguably toughest game of the group stage. I think the players are going to be absolutely buzzing from that, and then hopefully Czech Republic managed to get a result against Scotland.
Yeah.
But either way, it doesn't matter. I think the players are going to be ready for Friday. I think they're going to be buzzing, realising, hold on, if we beat Scotland, that's pretty much it. We've got our seat into the round of 16. And then we go from there. So, yeah, I think the result was perfect, man. We had to win today, and it was spot on.
All right, George.
Appreciate it, man.
Pleasure coming on. Cheers for coming on, mate.
Appreciate it.
Nice to see you as always.
Come on, England!
Come on, England.